Hello everyone, welcome. Kommen zur Pressekonferenz.
Welcome to this press conference, Bayern Munich, our final match in the group stages of the Champions League. We're going to start with our player, Jamal Musiala. He's going to answer questions in English and in German. We're going to start at the front, Sport 1. Hello, how are you feeling? And are you ready for 90 minutes? After this defeat against Frankfurt, apologies for the interpreter, the sound in the microphone is very low, it's barely audible. Yes, I'm feeling good. Worked very hard in training, trying to regain my fitness. And I think the coach will be discussing with the staff, the physio, how many minutes I can play. I'm sure he's going to limit it to a certain amount of minutes in terms of how long I can play. But apart from that, I feel good. I feel ready for getting back on the pitch. And yes, in terms of that defeat against Frankfurt, it's all kind of surprised us to a certain degree. But we're going to look ahead now. And this presents us with a good opportunity to get our confidence back up and to just play a good game against that game against Frankfurt. Torben Hoffmann, Sky. How can you explain that performance against Frankfurt? And what can be done about it in terms of changing it on the pitch tomorrow? Can you repeat that question, please? I couldn't really hear you. How can it happen? How can this kind of defeat happen? And what is your approach for tomorrow's match? Well, yes. And, we're talking about football. There's always reasons for defeats. We'd been very good in training prior to the match. So that's why it was kind of shocking. But we have discussed a few issues since the match. We've discussed our behaviours. And there's just a few moments in a game that we need to work harder. We need to have more confidence in our own structures. But we have a lot of quality. This was our first defeat this season, and we shouldn't dwell on it too much. We can learn a lot from it, yes. And we now know that this can happen, or a bad game can happen if you don't focus. But we've just got to learn the lesson and focus on Manchester United. And, do things better. Stefan Kumberger. Christoph Freund, the sporting director, was saying yesterday that attitude, mindset is a bit of an issue. So did other players have the same feeling that a certain bit was missing, that you didn't have the right attitude against Frankfurt? Well, that's possible, yes. But like I said, after the week of training before, we wouldn't have expected this. But in hindsight, looking back at the match and looking at a few scenes, reflecting on those scenes of the match, you can well say, yes, there was a bit of a percentage missing. And when you have an opponent like this who's got quality, you can't get away with that. And in terms of tomorrow's match, we will have to be we'll have to give our 100%. We need to make sure we win. We need to use our chances.
You're a young player, and you've had a meteoric rise. It's been absolutely fantastic for Germany and Bayern Munich. You spent time in England. What is it that young players need to be able to have that confidence to make it at the top level? And at Manchester United, we have a young player called Kobbie Mainoo, who you could come up against. Do you know much about him? And
say that again. This is I don't need the translation. Just the end bit, yeah.
Yeah, the end bit.
Yeah.
There's a youngster, Manchester United, a couple of years younger than yourself, Kobbie Mainoo. I don't know too much about him. How do you feel about the prospect of maybe playing against him?
Yeah, I haven't heard much about him, but I think if he's in the Man United squad, he must have lots of quality. And I think your question was about young players. I think for young players, definitely just to have that confidence in yourself, especially when you're playing with older people and people that are a bit more experienced. So you still need to have that confidence in yourself and that trust that you're meant to be where you are right now, and then you can go with the flow a bit.
Hi, Kilda.
Hi, Rob. I just want to know, first off, what's it going to feel like to play at Old Trafford? And what have you made of Manchester United this season?
Yeah, I think Old Trafford is definitely a stadium that lots of kids would love to play in, and there's so much history there. And also, when I was younger, it was always nice to see the Old Trafford games, always the atmosphere. I'm pretty sure the atmosphere will be amazing tomorrow. And I think I followed a bit from the Man Utd. I saw that they lost as well their last games. I think they've had the ups and downs this season. But I think they have lots of quality in their players. Definitely a dangerous team that can hurt us if we're not fully or 100% there.
Hi Jamal, you won't play against them tomorrow night, but given the passage Jadon Sancho took from Germany to England at a young age, and you made a similar move, was he an inspiration to you in terms of the thinking behind making that move to Bayern Munich at the time that you did?
I think you could say, yeah, a little inspiration. I think you see how well he was doing after the transition from England to Germany, and seeing how well he was doing in the Bundesliga. It was definitely something nice to see and can give a little boost in your confidence that I could make it as well. And yeah.
Jamal,
Please,
United,
you use the microphone for
Sorry.
translation.
United have conceded a lot of goals this season, and I think on 9 occasions they've conceded 3 or more in games. They've really struggled to control matches. The game management hasn't been too good, and their own manager has said that. Is that something you can exploit tomorrow night? Can you take advantage of that?
I think the way we play football, we try to control games against any opponent, really. I think that's kind of our game style. So if we can be good in ball possession, don't do sloppy mistakes, and then with the quality we have in attack, we could hopefully create a lot of chances. But we're definitely not gonna underestimate Man U at all, because like I said, they have lots of quality that they can score many goals as well. And if they're in form and playing well and with confidence, they're definitely a very tough team to beat.
Yes, please.
Could I just ask, the fact that you're through, does that mean you may take your foot off the pedal, that it's not as important to you, or is it because it's Manchester United that you'll still treat it as an important game?
I think no matter who we play, we always want to win. I think we want to keep our unbeaten streak in the Champions League group stage, and we want to have a good rhythm going into the last couple games of us until the winter break. So I think this is a very important game for us. We're gonna go out and try to win. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good news.
Any open questions for Jamal? That's it. Thank you very much. Coming back with the coach.